Welcome to the LFA 173 end of the year spectacular 25th and final show of 2023. Glad you could join us on YouTube and Facebook. Kicking off the action in the lightweight division, a matchup between unbeaten Shane Shapiro and making his pro debut tonight, Pat Jones. Then we have a 140-pound catchweight between actor / mixed martial artist Patrick Cornett and 1-0 Shad Walters. Moving back to the 155-pound division, originally from Israel, now fighting out of Las Vegas, is Ilay. Barzilay tangles with Chicago's Tyler Jones, and we will wrap up the LFA 173 preliminary card when the undefeated BJJ black belt Eduardo Penha and another product from Illinois, Ronny Hauser, meet. Ron Crook, Gilbert Melendez, and Michael Chiesa with you for the first fight. Here is the tail of the tape, powered by Ringside Ticket. Shapiro is 30 years old and Jones 1 year older and 2 inches taller. He will also have a massive 5-inch reach advantage. Shapiro weighed in 2 pounds heavier. To kick off the LFA 173 prelims, here is the voice of the LFA Octagon, Mike Kendall.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now begin the LFA 173 preliminary bouts. In this bout, scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds in the LFA lightweight division, brought to you tonight by Ringside Ticket. And now, introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner. This striker stands 5'8", weighed in 154 pounds. Tonight, he is making his professional debut. Representing KO Zone, fighting out of Miami, Florida, by way of Pozzole, Napoli, Italy. Pat Il Distruttore Jones. His opponent across the octagon, fighting out of the red corner, is a jiu-jitsu specialist standing 5'6", weighed in 156 pounds. Built a professional record, 1 win, 0 defeats. That win coming by way of submission. Representing Syndicate MMA, fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, Shane the Vanilla Gorilla Shapiro. Your referee, Chris Tione.
I do.
All right, guys, we've gone over the rules. I expect you to obey my commands. Protect yourselves at all times. It's an honor to be in here with you. Good luck.
Thrilled to be here at the Pearl Theater at Palms Casino Resort for LFA 173. Guys, this looks like a train wreck waiting to happen.
Well, they already collided, so the train wreck has been engaged. And Shane, I got to tell you, I've trained with him at Syndicate Mixed Martial Arts. He is an incredible grappler. He's got great top pressure, does a good job finding his way to the back. And if he ends up on his back himself, he's got a very dangerous X guard, so he's really good at getting back to his feet.
Well, Shapiro right away landed that beautiful single leg, ran the pipe, and has been continuing his pursuit to hold down Jones. Huge underdog is Shapiro.
Absolutely, came in at minus 1,500.
And here he is in the back position already, huh, Mike?
Yeah, he's doing a good job keeping weight on Pat Jones's hands. You can see him really driving off that left leg, trying to pull out the kickstand with his right leg, but Jones using that fence to his advantage. The fence really becomes, it can take away the wrestling advantage of your opponent, but if Shane could get this takedown on open mat, he could really go to work.
Yeah, that's a great point. You know, I find it's very easy to get up against the cage. Well, not very easy, easier compared than the center of the octagon.
Pat Jones making his pro debut. Shane Shapiro coming in at 1-0. Jones struggling, trying to get off the canvas right now. It's a big man in Shapiro on top.
Yeah, and Shane's got that seatbelt. You can see he's reached around the back with his left hand. He's got that wrist trap. He needs to start feeding him right hands.
Huge punches.
Those are big shots raining down from Shane Shapiro.
And we got to give a shout out to Shane's mullet. I mean, look at that thing.
I mean, that thing is solid.
Look
But so are
at
these
punches.
shots.
Yeah.
Pat
I like
Jones,
what he's doing with his head, too. He's sticking his head in the armpit. Sticking his head in the armpit to open up the defense.
Pat Jones has got to start defending himself, guys.
Yeah, the
Referee taking a
favorite is
real close
stuck.
look.
The favorite is stuck. His arm is trapped behind. I think if Shapiro just lets his hands go even more, it might be over. Ref might have to jump in soon.
If I'm Shane, I would really try to get that hand behind his back. He got the hand fully behind the back. He could have went for like a hammer lock.
Such a great position for Shapiro. Huge scramble at the beginning of the fight. What a big scramble. He wins the scramble. Jones is in a horrible position right now.
Shane Shapiro, 30 years old, fighting out here at Syndicate MMA, continuing to rain down these blows. The BJJ black belt. He's also a no-gi, a Pan Am world silver medalist.
How discouraging. It looks like Jones is about to free his hand, and Shapiro grabs the wrist again. Such top pressure.
He's very strong. I have to say, for his weight class, he is abnormally strong. I mean, this is a guy, and you can just see in his stature. I mean, look, he's yoked. He's all back. He reminds me of a Sean Brady. Like, even from like a technical standpoint, the way that he grapples, his top pressure, his build, he just has the shades of Sean Brady to his style.
2 minutes to go, opening round here at LFA 173. This is a stacked card tonight. If you haven't done so, sign up today. UFCFightPass.com.
I feel like Shapiro is slowly gaining ground, just inching his way, ground and pounding, and close to getting to the mount position. You know, it takes time. You can't just get to the mount immediately. You have to wear your opponent. You got to keep on trying to pass till you get to that position.
If I was Shane, you can just tell that Pat Jones, he's tough. He's going to be a guy, you start feeding him shots. He's going to try to squirm his way out of positions. If I'm Shane, I'm going submission hunting.
You know what's crazy, guys, about this? We didn't set it up as we came into this fight. Both of these guys are in their first fight in almost 3 years.
Yeah, and Shane's had a lot of fights fall out. He was supposed to compete for a show here in Las Vegas. His opponent fell through. So this is a guy that's came very close to competing and had things out of his control that kept him from competition. So I'm sure he's happy to get this home field advantage here in Las Vegas for LFA at the Palms. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that.
No, it doesn't. Pat Jones, originally from Italy, now fighting out of Miami in the KO zone. Went 4-2 in his amateur career. 1 win via knockout, 2 submissions, making his pro debut, but this opening round is not how he foresees things going here to start things off in his professional career.
And you know, it's really challenging to recover from a round like this. You know, maybe you're a striker, but grappling, being stuck on bottom for 5 minutes, trying your best to get off the bottom, trying your best to free your arm, and you're still in this position. Maybe the time will save you and you get a restart, but man, your arms are drained. You are not the same fighter as you were at the beginning of the fight.
Yeah, that could be a 10-8 round for Shane.
That's a great point. I mean, Pat Jones has basically survived this opening round, and that's been about it.
That's a good way of putting
Shapiro
it.
dominating.
I think that's what constitutes a 10-8 round, is if your opponent had to survive. Like when somebody, just the way you worded it, Ron, like he survived the round. That tells me that's 10-8 territory if one guy is surviving a round.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I agree with that as well.
I'd like to see more of those in 2024.
I'd like to see more of these coffee cups in 2024.
Wow.
Shout out to Founders Coffee with
Man.
these fancy plastic to-go cups.
This guy, he's so smooth, Gil. Why don't we have a Founders Coffee
Yeah, exactly.
sponsorship?
Immediately, Shapiro level changes, snags the single leg, runs the pipe. Jones trying to get up, but Shapiro just sticking on him, just lifting up the ankles, putting his heavy pressure on him, and at a moment, he grabs the wrists and starts punching his opponent over and over and over. And Jones, trying to build his base, finally frees his hand, survives a round, but not after taking a ton of damage, and his muscles have to be drained from trying to build his base that whole 5 minutes.
LFA lightweight division, round number 2. Shane Shapiro with the red tape and Pat Jones, blue tape and green hair. Oh, nice shot from Shapiro. Now he goes up high, misses with the head kick, and maybe an opportunity for Pat Jones. But Shapiro gets up on his feet quickly.
Dude, look at his back. Like when he's got him to the fence, look at his back muscles. He's just, dude, his squeeze is like a trash compactor. It's just a hydraulic type grip. And he's got to slow it down a little bit. He looks like he's rushed himself a little bit on the feet. He doesn't need to make things chaotic on the feet. Just stick to the basics like he did that first round. Pat Jones, close the space, take what he gives you, take the single leg. He got a little bit chaotic there, slipped on the kick. Don't give this guy any real estate to get himself back in this fight.
you're probably right, but dang, that was an exciting exchange to
really
start the whole, kicking each other in the body. It was going crazy. Guys are falling, but ultimately Shapiro wins the scramble. Now he's in the half guard, pursuing the arm triangle, pursuing the mount. Great position for Shapiro. Man, and that body lock was hard. He said it. I seen his back. It was the vanilla gorilla back out there, just bulging before that body lock.
I gotta say, I mean, obviously, I'm calling this fight like a teammate, telling him to slow it down, but that is true, Gil. That exchange was very exciting. So I gotta withdraw myself and keep this subjective.
You're preaching to the choir, man. I'm cornering.
It's not easy.
My boys here, man.
I've heard both of you maybe cross that line a little bit. Now, Shane Shapiro continuing to drop as he mounted up, was dropping more bombs, and Pat Jones eating a lot of shots.
Pat Jones trying to fence walk, get himself out of mount.
Also like Shapiro, he's on the mount position. He's pursuing the arm triangle, but still finds his opportunity to land some ground and pound, right? Don't want to be stuck on either one. And you ground and pound, it opens up a submission sometimes. So I think it's smart that he is riding him, position over submission, but still landing his strikes in the same time.
Oh, he might be going for the arm bar. It looked like Pat Jones was going to reach up with that right arm.
Vicious, vicious.
And now attacking the neck.
Oh, he might have that.
Real tight.
He's got that.
Pat Jones taps out. Shane Shapiro is your victor. What a dominant performance from the 30-year-old fighting out of Las Vegas and Syndicate MMA. Wow, fellas.
That was an impressive performance for the underdog. He was the favorite. Oh, I stand corrected. But what an impressive for the favorite. Well, he showed why he's the favorite.
Exactly.
Dominated, snagged the single leg, body locks, vicious ground and pound, complete control, just dominated. Amazing performance.
I think, boys, we may see a Shane Shapiro on a main card here in the LFA very soon.
I'd watch that. He was very exciting, entertaining. You love to see grapplers who are exciting. Grappling is exciting. Yes, he's an exciting grappler. You love to see people use their grappling in MMA and do it in an exciting fashion, and that's what we just saw tonight.
And Shane looked very polished. I mean, he looked like if he couldn't have got the takedown on Pat Jones, he looked like he could have stood there and had a kickboxing match with this guy. I mean, he landed really good body kicks. The left hook, the lead hook was there. He did a lot of things very good on the feet, but you see here, look at this, nice, just bumps him over the hip, gets the takedown.
All power.
And for Pat Jones, the one thing he didn't do is he kept going to that lockdown, and it's like you're essentially pinning yourself on your back with a power puncher of a grappler on top of you, landing ground and pound. You just see boa constrictor-like strangulation right here. Look at this. He doesn't even pass all the way to the other side. He stays in mount, just shifts his hips off to the right side, locks on the choke, gets the tap, proves it 2-0. That's a very sensational performance from Shane Shapiro.
And tough night at the office for Pat Jones making his pro debut against a top performer in Shane Shapiro. We will see him again, I'm sure, but Shane Shapiro earns his second victory, second via submission. Let's get the official time. Here's Mike Kendall.
Ladies and gentlemen, your referee, Chris Tione, calls a stop to the fight. 2 minutes, 17 seconds into the second round, declaring your winner by tap out into arm triangle, Shane the Vanilla Gorilla Shapiro.
Successful return to MMA after 3 years away. 30-year-old Shane Shapiro. There he is, the Syndicate MMA team. I mean, Gil, you gotta love that logo, don't you?
Raider Nation here, man. I love that Vegas is embracing the Raider Nation. Yeah.
Let's go, Broncos.
Huge win this weekend. We're almost 500.
Huge
again.
win. You guys beat up busted Chargers.
We suddenly went to pro football talk, but we will get back to the MMA here. Michael Chiesa is going to be bouncing in. We got a full cast of characters tonight. We're excited to be joined by several of our LFA color commentators here at the Pearl Theater in the Palms Casino Resort. We've got the Hall of Famer Cub Swanson's in the house. We have LFA alum and veteran UFC fighter Alan Joban. And of course, we've got Gilbert Melendez and Michael Chiesa. I mean, the dream team, they gave us their picks for Fight of the Night of here at LFA 173.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, keep your eyes on the Hawaiian fighter, Puni Pagoa. This guy can box and he has a hard punch. He loves to fight. He's gonna take the fight to his opponent, and his opponent is there to bring the fight as well. Keep your eyes out for Puni Pagoa. He's my fighter to watch.
My fight to watch is Mitch Ramirez versus Arion Tavares. There's a little bit of a grudge match between the gyms here in Las Vegas. Mitch Ramirez being from Syndicate where I train, and Tavares being from Extreme Couture. So there's a little bit of a rivalry, not to mention both of these guys can scrap. So this is going to be a really fun fight.
The fight I'm looking forward to the most is our main event. You got two hungry fighters. Both believe they're the true champion, and they get to settle it tonight.
My fighter to watch on tonight's card is Gigi Kudo. It just comes, not only is she an undefeated fighter with world-class jiu-jitsu, but there's a swagger about her. When you interview her, when you speak with her, there's a confidence that comes very strong off of her. For someone who's only 21 years old, such a young age, but so confident in her ability to do well in this sport. She's got the swagger, she's got the ability to be a world champion.
Why is the LFA known as the true developmental league to the UFC? It's because no other MMA promotion has sent more athletes to the UFC. Check out this lineup. Unbelievable. This year alone, 38 former athletes signed with the UFC. Incredible numbers. There they are. And a lot of these former LFA fighters, when they get to the UFC, they are experiencing success at the next level, which is the most important thing. And currently, right now, there are 3 LFA alums are holding UFC belts. The champions include we got Sugar Shane O'Malley, we got Alex Pereira, we've got several others holding belts. Pantoja's got 1 belt too, but now I'm joined by Cub Swanson here in the booth. It joins Gil and I, and guys, you just look at this list. I know you've called a lot of these athletes' fights. Just who stands out to you, or just give us your thoughts on this impressive lineup.
You know I'm going to give a shout out to my boy Haider Emil. He had 3 outstanding Fight of the Night performances for the LFA, went on to the Dana White Contender Series, had an amazing fight with a tough Turkish fighter. The interview is live, and he was successful out there and did a great job. But man, like you said, 33% of the UFC roster is all from the LFA. I believe all 4 of the people in the main event are from the LFA. You got Pantoja, Royval, Colby, and you got, oh, not Leon, I'm sorry, not Leon Edwards. I was thinking of Kamaru Usman for a second, but we have so much talent coming from the LFA, huh, Cub?
Yeah, and just like you said, you got your guy, Haider, that guy you mentored,
yes,
did the same exact path I did with my guy, Danny Silva, from your hometown, Santa Ana.
That's right.
You know, we did the LFA to the Contender Series, and they were on the same season, and they both got contracts. So, yeah, a bunch of my guys have come through LFA. It's where I get my guys to get ready to make that leap, to showcase their skills and say, hey, I'm ready for the big show.
And look at the champions right here, guys, in the LFA. What a year it's been, handing out the hardware. Tonight, we will crown, I believe it's our 22nd title fights here, and our current champions. Again, you've called several of these athletes' fights. Anyone stand out to you as we're going to see Azamat Bakoyov take on Lucas Fernando, the interim middleweight and the middleweight champ, going at it tonight?
Well, I got a chance to see Azamat in person. Javier Garcia clawed his way to a championship. Jacoby Jones was subbed and then comes back and has a win streak and had an amazing Fight of the Night performance against John Paul. Those are the 3 champions I'm looking at right now that look fantastic and had an amazing year.
LFA 173 preliminary action rolls on here, and we move to a catchweight of 140 pounds between DJ and actor Patrick Cornett and Shad Walters. Tail of the tape, presented by the Palms Casino Resort. Here is the numbers. Cornett, 4 years older than Shad Walters, who is 1 inch taller, will have a 1 inch reach advantage, and you see that Patrick Cornett missed weight. He came in heavy, took this fight on only 3 days' notice, so we give him a little grace on that. He is making his LFA debut tonight. Now for the official fighter introductions, back inside to Mike Kendall.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds and an LFA catchweight at 140 pounds, brought to you tonight by Palms Casino Resort, here to play. And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner, the striker stands 5'6", weighed in 139 pounds. He holds a professional record, 1 win, 0 defeats. That win coming by way of knockout. Representing Northern Illinois Combat Club, fighting out of Rockford, Illinois, relentless Shad Walters. His opponent across the octagon, fighting out of the red corner, is a martial artist standing 5'5", in 140.4 pounds. He holds a professional record, 2 wins, 1 defeat, with both of those wins coming by way of knockout. Representing Syndicate MMA, fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, Patrick Cornett. Your referee in charge of the action, Jason Herzog.
Good, if fighters have gone over the rules. Were there any questions for blue? Any questions for red? If you want to touch gloves again, good now. I'm not ready to fight.
Shad Walters with the blue tape, just 2 months after a knockout win in his pro debut, returns for his 3rd fight of 2023. As I mentioned, Patrick Cornett stepping in on short notice, guys. He is looking for his 3rd straight victory. Comes in with a 2-1 record. Ron Kruk, Cub Swanson, and Gilbert Melendez with you here for the LFA 173 preliminary action.
Hey, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. And Cornett is jumping on a great opportunity here in Las Vegas, hometown. Fighting for the LFA. Whoa, a lot going on immediately.
Man, some power on display by Cornett, and now he takes Walters down.
Yeah, he's wrapped up on the neck there. Switching off, playing in the guard. He looks like a big, strong guy. Obviously, when I saw a picture of him, I didn't expect him to be 5'5". So, I mean, this guy's compact, right?
Absolutely.
So he needs to be heavy on top and just get some ground and pound going.
Yeah, and with, 3-day notice, maybe you want to try to get in and out as soon as possible. I mean, that's a hard thing to say. You always want to be smart, but sometimes you want to get it done right away. I mean, I've took a fight 3 weeks notice, but 3 days, that's incredible. How about you, Cub? What's the closest you ever done?
Man, I've never done well with short notice fights. I always felt like I just wasn't going to give my best performance, so I tried to opt out. I think the shortest I've done is a couple weeks, and I still just didn't feel it was my best performance, so I just didn't feel like my fans were getting the best of me.
Yeah, it's interesting take and a great question, Gil, because there are some of those guys who will say, I take a quick, short notice fight. I don't have to think about things. As long as you're training and in camp, I don't have to worry about, think about the same guy and the pressure that goes with it. But I could see that it's a double-edged sword for sure.
Yeah, I'm going to side with Cub on that, man. With preparation comes confidence, and I like that preparation. But you also have to take advantage of opportunities. And Cornett, I mean, he's ahead right now. He's on top, controlling the position. Nice little scramble, and Walters is settling here. Let's see if he has some jiu-jitsu off his back with the feet on the hips here, setting up maybe a triangle armbar. Ooh, Cornett lets him up.
He wants to get after it. I like that.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
I like his confidence. Obviously, if you're going to take this, short notice fight on 3 days, you had to have seen something with the opponent that said, "I'll beat this guy on 3 days' notice," right?
That's a great point. That is a great point.
And if you look at him, I mean, I looked at his amateur record, 4-4. Okay, you got your ups and downs. I don't mind a 4-4 amateur record because you're figuring it out. But he only has 1 pro win. So there's something that he saw on tape that said, yeah, I want this. I want a piece of that.
Shad Walters now attacking that lead leg with the kicks, and then Cornett fires back. 2 thumbs up from Walters.
Sportsmanship.
And Cornett slips, and
I'm not too sure. I saw a teep to the face when he went for the punch. I didn't see the...
Looks like he's feeling a low blow.
So going back to that shot, right? He hit him, and it was kind of the back of the head. This is something I always talk about. We'll
Let's
see
take
the
a
nut
look.
first.
Let's see the other.
Oh, yeah.
Little up
caught
kick
him
right
coming
there.
in for the holiday season. Shot right there to the jingle bells.
The foot uppercut is what I call it. Yeah, so that shot to the back of the head, right? This is something I always talk about. In boxing, they'll call that. because you're not allowed to hit to the back of the head. But in our sport, MMA, because we're allowed to turn in the different angles, they'll never call that. As long as you're looking at your opponent, they're never going to call it. So you don't want to stop and kind of call a timeout. You want to keep going. Cornett should have just followed up and kept bombing on him, honestly.
Yeah, stay in character the whole time. I love that about MMA. We aren't boxing. We do. You have to, at all times, you got to stay ready, protect yourself at all times. And you're right. When you're trying to mount escape, anything, you're going to turn and give your head sometimes. These things happen.
Shad Walters and Patrick Cornett touch gloves. We're back at it. Walters, blue belt in BJJ, but a 2021 gold medalist in the Pan American Kickboxing Championships. And he started to use those kicks just a minute ago, guys, going and attacking that calf.
I think it's a good time for him to gain some respect back after that little pause, you know. He probably didn't expect his opponent to come out so hot, and now he needs to gain that respect back. Like, no, I'm in control of this fight.
Yeah, it seems like they're settling in. Oh, just as we see that Cornett with the big overhand. And just a dynamic combination. Big overhand. Now he's on a single leg, lifting for the double. But Walters with the guillotine.
Standing guillotine. Cornett gets him down, but that guillotine is very tight. Right,
that might have
Gil.
been tight.
Man, it was one of those ones I almost wish he would have slammed it backwards.
Yeah.
Because the head was positioned the right way, and that's legal. If they're in a submission, you're allowed to slam them on their head. It's a little vicious, but it is what it is.
Oh, this is sport we do. I love it.
Yeah, we did see a couple knockouts that way last week, a few weeks ago.
Walter's doing a good job of staying on that neck here. You know, just he's still in this mix. I wouldn't say Cornett has the position yet till he pops his head out. See, keeping on that head is keeping his scramble alive, able to get to his feet, you know, maybe get a sweep out of it. But Cornett has to respect it. And you can see Walters getting the space here. He's getting tighter on that guillotine.
Yeah, he needs to pass those legs. If you pass the legs, it takes the pressure off the choke. So the fact that Walters has his legs around him and has the neck, he can keep threatening the choke, try to get up, threaten the choke, and you kind of go back and forth until you get what you want.
Yeah, I agree. I think you're right. Cornett can pass to that right side, try to get to that side mount, relieve that pressure. That's a good catch right there.
Look at that.
10 seconds to go. Back on his feet. Some nasty elbows to the side of Cornett's head.
He definitely got one to the back of the head.
These knees by Walters, big overhand rights to knee. I like the long knee combination, Dutch style straight up.
Walters finished that first round strong.
Yeah, like Cub was saying, you could tell, you know, Cornett came out very explosive, and you know, that's a hard pace to keep up, and I think Walters did a great job of settling in, and you can tell he became more comfortable as the fight went on, and you know, we're going to see how good Cornett's cardio is with this 3-day notice, and how good Walters is with the full training camp.
Yeah, I think any coach is probably going to say, when you say, hey, should we take this fight on 3 days? The coach is going to say, well, let's get that first round finish and get out of there. That's what every coach is going to tell you. So
right.
Here we are going into the second round. Let's see what the adjustment is.
Shad Walters, 1-0. Got that victory over Darius Miller here in the LFA. He went 1-1 in the Legacy Fighting Alliance Octagon as an amateur, training out of Northern Illinois Combat Club. And Patrick Cornett, I mentioned he's an actor. He's a DJ. He's currently on the Netflix series Obliterated. He's appeared on Gil's favorite show, 90 Day Fiancé, and American Ninja Warrior.
Maybe you can get his autograph after this.
I might have. Can I get a picture, please? He's an entertainer.
He really is.
He's an entertainer. He probably stepped up here. He's like,
real cool dude.
Entertainment business right here.
Ron Kruk and Gilbert Melendez and Cub Swanson with you. LFA 173 preliminary action. What a card we have tonight. Back-to-back world championship title fights.
Oh!
A double knee almost?
Yeah, he countered the flying knee with the flying knee of his own.
I'll jump higher than you.
I got the hops.
And every time there's a spectacular technique, I love these two. They're high-fiving. They're like pointing, they're laughing, thumbs up.
Some respect right there.
Having some fun.
So, Gil, do you think Cornett won the first round?
Yeah, it was a hard one to, I feel like Cornett won the first half, and I saw Walters kind of taking over, having more success in the second half, especially against the cage, landing those elbows there and settling in. But man, that's a tough one. I'm gonna lead towards Walters on that one.
Okay.
Barely. What about you?
I mean, I was thinking Cornett just because he had the bigger moves, but Walters did have that choke, and that is a threat, and it could have been something. But I would imagine that Walters would be the favorite from here on out, knowing that Cornett took it on 3 days' notice.
Yeah, just finish a little stronger. And with us being kind of in the middle here and barely choosing that, you got to think the judges on the side are doing the same thing. 2 judges gave it to Cornett or to Walters, and I really doubt that all 3 of them agreed on that first one.
I'd agree with that.
That's a safe bet.
Walters again with the calf kicks. He's got to be careful. When he goes with those calf kicks, he puts his hands down, and that's when Cornett's got that opportunity. 2 victories, both coming by way of knockout, and that is the power I'm referring to.
These guys are going.
Walters is wobbling. Cornett looking for the victory, pushing him up into the corner, right in front of us.
He needs to get some space and get back to hitting him. He's letting him back in.
Hammer fist. My goodness. Walters trying to go for attack the knee bar here.
Just past the halfway point of the second round, Cornett drops. Walters has plenty of time to operate from this spot and this position.
Big moment for Cornett right here, holding the back of the neck of Walters, throwing some strike, and Walters back to his feet.
Wow.
I'm enjoying this fight.
That's a good one, right? That's a good one.
Shad Walters back on his feet. Oh, Cornett just missing.
Two southpaws training big overhand lefts.
Good point, yep. Walters won victory coming by way of knockout as well.
Ooh, Walters got the mouth open.
He's still recovering.
I bet, right?
I like that he's attacking the leg because, when you're fighting someone who's explosive, you want to tear down, tear the tires out,
Well
but
said.
he needs to set it up a little better because we're seeing him getting countered.
Absolutely.
And you would think the longer this fight goes, probably the better for Shad Walters, since Patrick Cornett just took this fight on 3 days' notice.
Well, we thought that, but it looks like Cornett is, look how great a shape he's in. His mouth's not open. He's doing a great job, and big punch, dropping Walters. Walters is looking a little more fatigued, but we know one strike can change things.
Yeah, do you know what makes people tired? Stress.
True.
You almost get knocked out, you're surviving, you're stressed out, your heart rate's going a little faster. People don't realize how much that burns your cardio.
Absolutely, absolutely. You want to be composed.
Missing punches also takes a lot of cardio.
We've got 30 seconds left as Walters catches Cornett on the way in.
And Walters needs his moment, just like Cornett. He needs his big shot to land. Beautiful level change. Head on the outside single by Cornett. Runs the pipe. Lands in the guard of Walters.
Nice takedown here towards the end of the round, though Walters made him pay for it with those elbows to the side of the head. Time winds down here in the second round. Make sure you are following the Legacy Fighting Alliance on all social media platforms at LFA Fighting. Glad you could be a part of the LFA 173 preliminary action here on Facebook and YouTube. Guys, we check out some of the action here in the second frame.
Is this the double flying knee? Yeah, Cornett goes with the flying knee, but Walters just goes one level higher and beats him to it. And then there you got Cornett just landing that big overhand. Walters is just not setting up those kicks properly, and he's just wide open with his chin when he's throwing the kicks. He needs to keep his hands up, or he needs to throw a jab, something first to get Cornett, his attention upstairs before he gets kicked. 2 close rounds for sure, though.
Patrick Cornett making his LFA debut tonight, 32 years old. And Shad Walters looking to improve to 2-0 with both victories here in the LFA octagon.
So in the 3rd round, this is when low kicks are a little less important. If you haven't done a lot of damage by now, it's the 3rd round. You need to start, going upstairs and trying to look for the finish, especially if you might be down on the cards.
Yeah, Walters is going to have to bite down the mouthpiece and stay in that chaos a little bit longer and try to have his own Cornett moment, because I think he is losing this fight now.
Punches his way in for a takedown, and Shad Walters gets it.
Hey, that's not a bad decision, right? It's not the end of the round, it's the beginning of the round. Maybe something can work here. I was saying, hey, get in the phone booth and start swinging, or let's take him down and let's see what he has on his back.
Yeah, and it's an early takedown. What that means is he's got 4 minutes to do what he can. Beat him up a little bit. Maybe he lets him up with a minute left and then goes for the knockout. When he's got a lot of energy, his partner's been stressed on his back trying to get up, thinking he has the fight won, going, oh, don't let this slip.
Exactly, and I hate when it's the opposite. When it's 30 seconds left and you're down, you need the knockout, and they go for the takedown. Oh, come on, man, you got short time, But
right.
to Cub's point, this is where you experiment with that strategy.
Shad Walters very comfortable in the grappling department. Blue belt with BJJ. This is his 2nd fight in 70 days.
Yeah, you definitely didn't do that with your legendary fight with Diego Sanchez.
Oh, no.
Oh, my brother.
Didn't.
Yeah, good times, man, good times.
I remember watching that. I was at a Harley Davidson dealership in Texas at a viewing party, and it was like freezing, and I was like, oh my God, this fight is crazy.
Freezing in Texas?
Every once in a while.
Yeah. Yeah, Cornett has to understand that he can possibly still lose this fight if he's stuck on bottom. Like we said in that 1st round, Cub and I we knew the 1st round was close. I said Walters, he said Cornett.
Go either way,
it
sure.
could go either way. So even though we had that dominant 2nd round, and I kind of believe Cornett is technically winning the fight, but can still lose the scorecards.
Yeah, he needs to get back to work. I mean, he might be saving energy. We know that he didn't get the full camp, so he might be just conserving and waiting for his chance.
He might have his chance. Look at that. Look, I got that Kimura grip with the shin in there.
Great call.
I mean, he could use his feet, kick off the cage. He could transition, do a switch. But he's got to do something. You can't just sit there with it.
Yeah, so what do you think? Does Walter stay here and try to ride it out and say, hey, I won the fight? Or do we let him up and go for the kill? Or let's see what happens.
One thing people don't do enough is ground and pound the body.
He was throwing a few short elbows while he was down there, but that's a great point, Cub. And now you see Walters on the back of Cornett.
1 hook in, 2 hooks in.
I can hear the corner of Pat Cornett. They're saying, come on, we need to roll.
Sometimes your arms are so burnt out by this point, though. You're trying to squeeze, and you're got all that lactic acid, and your arms are going, nope. So he, like we were saying, he might, if he can't get the choke right away, he might as well just stand up and try to knock him out.
Or do you think he can win right here? I'm wondering, I think you're right. I think we let him, but he may win because, I don't want to call it a 10-8, but he's done everything and nothing has happened for Cornett this round. I really want him to get up and do something explosive because I want to get that picture with them afterwards if he wins.
You think the fiance is here?
I know, right?
90-day fiance.
They usually have him at home somewhere. They usually are doing work. Someone's always winning on that 90-day fiance. It's brutal.
I mean, this sounds like we should do a post of show on that.
And my wife got me on that.
Yeah,
I watch
don't
it for
blame
fun.
Carrie. Don't do it. Just like that. Patrick Cornett taps out. Shad Walters took his time. You mentioned it, Cub had plenty of time after the takedown to work a submission, and he got it.
Grinded him down. That's what you got to do sometimes. Grind him down, and eventually that little bit, and he got it.
Yeah, man, I'm gutted for Cornett, man. He did such a fantastic job. And
yes, he did.
He just couldn't dig deep in that third round, got taken down, and was just kind of stuck there.
And how gassed do you think he was, guys? Because once he got taken down in that third, he had no answers.
Yeah, that had to be it. That had to be it. And maybe they can run it back with the full camp.
Definitely a factor. As we check out, there is the early takedown from Shad Walters, and Patrick Cornett never got back up.
Was that his first takedown attempt?
I think it was.
That's why I always had a high takedown percentage, because people didn't expect me to shoot. So when I did, they were not expecting it, and they don't defend it. So that was very smart of them to pull that out of his bag of tricks late in the fight and capitalize.
Yeah, just as Cornett thinks it's a striking battle and a flawless, easy takedown. Those are the best ones. Those are the best ones.
Well, Shad Walters remains unbeaten. We're going to get the official time from Mike Kendall.
Ladies and gentlemen, your referee Jason Herzog calls a stop to the fight. 4 minutes, 36 seconds into the third round, declaring your winner by tap out in a rear naked choke, relentless Shad Walters.
What a win for Walters, man.
Absolutely.
What a comeback. I mean,
he was in some trouble early on, fellas.
Oh, absolutely. He could have been losing. I wonder what the scorecards were. I wonder if he would have won if he stayed on top, or he needed that finish.
Yeah, we'll have to check it out. And I'm happy for him, too. He doesn't have his acting career to fall back on. You know, he's a little bit more invested in this sport, so I'm happy for him.
Great action, no doubt about it. Cub, thanks for jumping in here. We will definitely see and hear from you later on in the evening. I mean, a cast of characters here. I don't know how I got involved. I'm just, beat me down. I deserve it. But great job tonight. You're going to be doing some reporting around here too, right?
Yeah, I'm going to jump in one more time a little later, and I'll be chiming in whenever you guys need my assistance. I'll be floating around, so whenever you guys need me, just let me know.
All right, big main event at the top of the hour. We've got the middleweight title fight unification bout between the champion Lucas Fernando, coming in with a 9-2 record, and the interim title holder Azamat Bakoyov. Our guys give you the preview.
The main event of LFA 173 is a middleweight unification bout between the interim champ Azamat Bakoyov and the current champ Lucas Fernando. The Russian wrestler Bakoyov gets his second main event appearance inside the LFA octagon.
And new LFA interim middleweight world champion.
He used his dominant grappling to take the interim belt in a split decision win back in June. Bakoyov looks to use his smothering ground game to remove the interim tag from his title.
Lucas Fernando!
His opponent, Lucas Fernando, is set on proving that he is the true middleweight champion. Fernando, a member of the Brazilian national kickboxing team, is coming off an appearance on the Dana White's Contender Series after winning 4 in a row inside the LFA cage.
Nice body shot, Fernando, and it's it. That's a wrap.
The 4-time national kickboxing champ will look to have the striking advantage, but is also comfortable once the fight hits the ground. There can only be one, as we are set to unify the middleweight belt in our main event next.
That is the main event here at LFA 173. Gil, pretty crazy. Only the second title unification bout in LFA history. It's because most of the guys, once they win a title, they move on. So we're excited to see this. Give us your take. The champion, 26-year-old Lucas Fernando, 4-0 in the LFA, but he's coming off a loss on Dana White's Contender Series.
Yeah, Lucas Fernando is this Brazilian mixed martial artist who has mastered the Vale Tudo striking system. And a lot like his coach, Pedro Rizzo, he attacks the lead legs of his opponents. But what he does magnificently is his 1-2. Such a simple combination, but he's mastered it. Sometimes he masks it with a flying knee, then he lands the 1-2, or some roundhouse kicks. Ultimately, this guy is an amazing striker, and he can get it done anywhere as long as he manages that distance.
It's going to be tough against the interim champion from Russia, Azamat Bakoyev.
Iron Azamat Bakoyev is an animal, and he's a technical, well-rounded Russian mixed martial artist who tactically walks down his opponents, uses jabs, leg kicks, and corrals them with left hooks and roundhouse kicks. Once he has them on the fence, he'll look for his takedown, he'll let his hands go, but if he takes you down, he's gonna choose position over submission, weighing heavy on his opponents, looking for the right time to get his submission. Look for him to use that Russian wrestling against Fernando.
There is the rest of the LFA 173 card. We got some great matchups, but right now the action rolls on here in the preliminary bouts. Bout number 3 right here on Facebook and YouTube. We're gonna go back to the LFA lightweight division and check out the tail of the tape for our next matchup. Tail of the tape is powered by our guys at Inca Cola. Eric is back. We love the guys at Inca Cola. Here is the matchup between Ilay Barzilay and Tyler Jones. 24-year-old Barzilay is 5 years younger than Jones, who is an inch taller, and it has an inch reach advantage. Once again, let's get those official fighter introductions from our man in the octagon, Mike Kendall.
Fight fans, this contest is scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds in the LFA lightweight division. Brought to you tonight by Inca Cola, the Golden Cola. Drink an ice-cold Inca Cola to unleash your inner warrior. Check us out on the web, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Inca Cola USA. That's Inca with a C, Cola with a K, USA. And now, introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner. This Funk Jitsu style fighter stands 5'11", weighed in 155.6 pounds. He holds a professional record, 1 win, 0 defeats. That win coming by way of knockout. Representing Intercept MMA, fighting out of Chicago, Illinois, Tyler Funky Bones Jones. His opponent across the octagon, fighting out of the red corner, is a mixed martial artist standing 5'10", weighed in 154.8 pounds. He holds a professional record, 3 wins, 0 defeats, with 2 wins coming by way of knockout. Representing Extreme Couture, fighting out of Barzilay, Israel, Ilay, the hype is real, Barzilay. Your referee in charge of the action, Chris Tione.
All right, guys, you know the rules. Obey my commands, protect yourselves at all times. It's an honor to be in here with you. Good luck.
With the red tape, Ilay Barzilay, 3-0, 1-0 here in the LFA octagon. And his opponent coming in from Chicago, Tyler Funky Bones Jones, 1-0. Got his victory over Alex Martinez here in the LFA as well. Went 1-0 as an amateur. Tyler Jones with the blue tape and the orange shorts. Barzilay, red tape and white trunks.
Don't blink when Ilay Barzilay is fighting. He's a very, very fast starter. And in his last fight at LFA in El Paso, he did get tested and had to go 3 rounds, but that does not take away from his strength, which is coming out hot, and he's doing it now with these kicks.
Solid Muay Thai. Look at that high guard, just dropping the 2, landing the 3, hanging out in the phone booth. You know, the last 55-pounders we saw were tanks. These guys are long, lanky studs right here, using their limbs really well. Not grapplers, but showing their striking.
Barzilay letting those hands fly. Look at those quick hands.
I love the way he went to the body there.
Throwing back, yeah. Barzilay, body and then upstairs.
These guys are hanging out in the phone booth, right? They're in the chaos. I love it. No one's moving out of range. They're in that Muay Thai range, you know, blocking, using that form of defense, not their legs, and being elusive, just hanging in the chaos. I love it.
And when you talk about elusiveness, Barzilay has the ability to go to that karate style. His mentor and friend is Natan Levy, you know, LFA vet as well. You know, fighting in the UFC, super stud. So while he's in this phone booth style of fight, he could create the space and fight a karate style in this fight.
Barzilay 3-0, 2 victories by way of knockout. He has 2 first-round finishes, guys. one 23 seconds, and one came only 22 seconds into the fight.
I don't know about you guys, but my body hurts just watching Ilay just go to the body of Tyler, man. He just landed huge combinations for the second time. Mike brought it up earlier, man. He is switching from that Muay Thai, phone booth boxing. Man, this kid can do it all.
Yeah, for Jones, I mean, he landed some great body kicks as well. He went to the body with the kicks, and Ilay, he's using that beautiful boxing. And I love when guys corral their opponents against the fence. He start touching them upstairs, and when they bring their guard up, he ripped 2 really nice body shots. So I love the fact that he's not discriminating to the body, which creates opportunities to touch the chin as well.
Yeah, Barzilay destroying the body of Jones early on. Jones again 1-0.
Great body lock, takedown work, tries to do the hip toss first, misdirection, gets it. Tyler back to his feet.
Halfway through the opening round, LFA, a lightweight division action.
I like how Jones is sneaking that knee up as Eli's hanging his head off the side, but what he's got to be wary of is if Ilay can time it, he can catch that knee with that underhook and hit a nice sweep to the ground.
The good old Makhachev, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Makhachev has been hitting that quiet, man. It's beautiful.
Oh.
Chiesa, the Oracle. The Oracle.
Oh, don't give him any more. You will too. I see that head blowing up already.
I'm getting selfish here. I want them to break up because there was some amazing striking going on right here. And this is mixed martial arts, and we're going to see this pummeling right here. It's not as attractive sometimes, but there's a lot of work going on here, a big battle going on. And if Ilay can get the takedown, it'll really discourage Tyler. And if Tyler can defend this takedown, that'd be a big win for him as well.
And what people don't see is these types of exchanges against the fence. While it doesn't seem like either guy's doing much, this is the most exhausting style of fighting, is when you're fighting in the clinch against the fence, you're jockeying for position, you're trying to get off the fence, or if you're the guy on offense, if you're trying to pin your opponent against the fence. There's a lot of things you don't see, but for us that have been in there, we know that that is very exhausting in there. For these guys to break away and get back to striking would be a lot more efficient.
Couldn't agree more.
But who am I to say? If I'm in there, I'm pinning your ass on the fence. I ain't letting you off. Hell no.
But you're in great shape to do it, man. You got to be in great shape, you know. No, Jake Shields beat Tyron Woodley on just pressuring him the whole time against the cage, having the condition to be able to do that for 15 minutes, you know. Many, wrestling matches are 7 minutes, and NCAA's 10 minutes, I believe, in the Olympics for a reason. You cannot explode and wrestle for 25 minutes. It's very challenging to do. And the highest level, you got Daniel Cormier, a high-level wrestler, striking with people, because it's exhausting and it's very hard to accomplish and do a lot of wrestling in mixed martial arts.
Time winding down in the opening round.
Oh, I like that he's trying to shuck by that underhook.
That was Tyler Jones' corner saying, hey, see if you can land something before this round ends.
Boy!
Wow. That was Barzilay with the spinning elbow to end that round. A very close round.
A lot of output from Ilay. You know, Michael said it. He said, hey, right at the beginning, man, this guy comes out, and he did come out hot. That's a lot of energy. To be able to keep that pace for 15 minutes, it will be impressive to see.
I see Natan's rubbing out the forearms. We don't know if that's from him blocking those heavy kicks to the forearms.
Roaming around the cage tonight is the UFC Hall of Famer, Cub Swanson. Let's check in with Cub. Cub.
Can you guys hear me?
We got you.
We got you.
All right. Yeah, these guys are battling it out. The one thing I'm seeing is the Israeli fighter is hitting a lot harder, and his opponent needs to be moving around, needs to not take that damage, because it's taking its toll. He's got to move around. He's got to stick and move. Back to you, Ron.
Perfect, Cub. Thank you. We'll be checking in with him throughout the evening. Guys, do you agree with that?
Yeah, I think Cub's spot on, man. Tyler needs to make some adjustments here and needs to get some respect on his feet, change up the game plan, not be a sit-in target, and get some respect here.
Ilay Barzilay, 3-0. He's won 8 straight going back to his amateur career. 4th Israeli fighter to fight here in the LFA octagon. His father is a black belt in karate.
Oh, I like that. Threw the kick and then masked it. Used that kick to mask the punch.
Tyler having a better start this round, though.
Yeah, I think for Tyler, he's got to get Ilay on his heels. If you let Ilay be the bull, he's going to take advantage. So there's no better way to counter a guy that fights with this type of forward pressure is you got to put him on his heels and make him uncomfortable. And he was doing that for a moment, but Ilay able to reverse the position and pin Tyler in the fence, much like he had him in round 1.
Yeah, nice way to open up the second round for Jones. But credit Barzilay, as you said, Mike, got him pinned up against the cage. Saw a lot of clinch work in that opening round.
And you see Tyler keeps trying to go to this outside step, but the thing is Eli's leg is so far away, and since he's pinned on the fence, you're not going to get it. To get that outside trip, you got to pull your opponent towards you, so that when he steps close, then he can step in and get that outside trip. But he's just stepping out so long, and he's reaching for something that's not quite there. So he's got to get Ilay moving to get him to step towards him so he can get that outside trip.
Beautiful. There it is. Beautiful takedown from Barzilay. And with 3 minutes and 18 seconds to go.
Takes a page out of Jones's book. Jones was looking for that takedown the last round and a half.
A great body lock takedown, steps over, looks to pursue the mount, had the knee on the belly for a second, now hanging out in the half guard. Let's see, Ilay's jiu-jitsu grappling top game here. Fantastic on the feet.
Brown belt in BJJ. Won a European championship in that sport, second place at the World Championships in Dubai.
Hey, Tyler seems to have a nice guard here, getting his feet on the hips, dropping some elbows.
No panic, right?
A la Diego Sanchez versus Clay Guida here.
Jones also has that really nice Ultimate Warrior tattoo on his left eye. Pay homage to the legend, Ultimate Warrior.
Wow, I didn't notice that.
I did not
Spot
either.
on Chiesa.
Oh, that is sick.
That is awesome.
What's not awesome is laying on your back and getting hammered with punches from Ilay Barzilay, but the tattoo's pretty sweet.
Well said, sir.
I don't know how I feel about the rubber guard for MMA. I feel like it's one of those positions where you're essentially holding your opponent on top of you. And look, there's a lot of things you can do from the guard, but look, if you're on your back in a fight, you're losing. And that's just the way I look at things. So when you're using rubber guard and lockdown, a lot of those types of positions where you're pinning your opponent on top of you, I don't know if that's the best choice when you're in a mixed martial arts contest. Different if it's grappling.
Absolutely, and I agree, and I think it could be effective except for the fact I can pick you up and slam you, or I could punch you out of it, where you can't really do that in grappling tournaments. You know, you're in that position, you want to slam someone on the score table over there, and it happens every so often, but you get disqualified. Over here, you get rewarded for it.
Great insight. Michael Chiesa and Gilbert Melendez. Cub Swanson is cage side, and somewhere around here, Alan Joban will be joining us too.
Alan's probably kissing babies, taking photos, you know.
Yeah. There's a big line out there to get a photo with Mr. Joban.
Yeah, the Versace model.
Yes, sir.
The toughest Versace model in the world.
I already got my photo.
I'd get one, but you know.
He always charges me. It's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. All right, back on the feet with 1 minute to go, second round, but not for long.
Jones looking to roll underneath for maybe a knee bar, which I don't think was the best, not the best decision, because he was on all fours, looked like he could have got up, fought the hands, hit a nice little stand-up, instead tried to roll underneath, hit something funky, which maybe plays into the nickname. He likes those funky types of scrambles and takes a lot of risks.
Absolutely, but you have to be calculated when you do that roll, especially like you said, all that work to get to your feet. You had a chance to let your hands and feet and knees go right there. Now you're back on your back with 30 seconds left. But I do respect his attacks, right?
Yeah.
You know, he's being active on his back, doing some great ground and pound, and maybe he will get an omoplata to get up and get an arm bar, but it's not working so far.
Under 20. And the Vegas faithful chanting Ilay. Ilay Barzilay, 1-0 here in the LFA. 8-fight win streak going back to his amateur career. His only loss came in May of 2019, representing Extreme Couture here in Vegas. Extreme Couture, Gil, has, you know, back in the day, I'm old, man. I mean, I was there in the heyday interviewing Randy and all the guys down there, but it has come back strong. There are so many young, hungry athletes training now at Extreme Couture, again, Barzilay being one of them.
Yeah, you know, I'm sure Michael could say more. He's here in Las Vegas, but from what I see at Extreme Couture, it's just been a hub for mixed martial artists. They're traveling all over the world to come to Las Vegas. This is the mecca for MMA. This is the biggest sport out here, and it doesn't do anything like, nothing can really compare to it out here. But everyone comes here. Even the fighters are saying, I don't have to leave my gym. People come to me to spar.
Absolutely.
I think that's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it's a hotbed. It's had quite the resurgence, Ron. You said it best. When you got guys like Sean Strickland, Francis Ngannou, Brad Tavares, just the list of Casey O'Neill. I mean, even the female mixed martial arts scene's big there. So it's a gym that's really reestablished itself in the MMA community. It's back to its leading ways. Definitely one of the better camps in the world.
And you love to see that, right? You love to see these cycles happen,
Absolutely.
right? Like
especially
next
here
generation.
in Vegas, too. You need it in the fight capital of the world. Remember when Wanderlei Silva's gym was kicking, and of course
he was
Extreme
kicking
Couture,
too. He was whooping on some people. Boy, I heard some stories about sparring at that gym.
Oh, yeah.
There's only one speed, that's full speed.
I always wondered, like in the shoot box days, like how did they pick the person to hold the kick pads so they could train head stomps?
That's a bad
Totem
gig.
Yeah,
Totem pole.
All right, third and final round between Ilay, Barzilay, and Tyler Jones, LFA lightweight division.
Ilay doing a good job with that straight right, just keeping him right at his range.
And this is what they did to open up this fight. Both swinging, but then
Tyler's doing a good job, but his volume just can't compare to Ilay's, you know, and I think that's also been one of the big things is Ilay's volume is huge, and anytime Tyler lands a straight, Ilay comes back with 3 punches of his own.
And I think it's the physicality as well. I think that Ilay seems to be the much stronger fighter, just the way that he's able to hold position, the way he's able to keep Tyler on the fence, keep him on his back. I just think he's the more physical guy, the more stronger fighter in this contest.
LFA 173 main card goes down at 7 p.m. Pacific here, 10 Eastern. Doubleheader of title fights, interim strawweight bout, Canuto and Kuzlatina, and then we will unify the middleweight belt with Fernando and Bukoyov. But business to take care of here in the lightweight division first.
I love that you pointed out it's a Russia versus Brazil night for the co-main event.
Crazy, right?
Yeah, I was like, oh, here we go.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, Ron brought that up earlier, and it's usually like U.S., but it was, you know, it's cool to see the Russia versus Brazil here.
And the LFA bring in so many international fighters. You know, CEO Ed Suarez has the connections down in Brazil. We did so many shows down there this year. We will continue to do that next year. But Mark Beery, matchmaker extraordinaire, is bringing in so many athletes from around the world. It's incredible to see.
Things are heating up in the back half of round 3.
Like it.
Yes. And Barzilay letting those hands fly now, but Jones seems to be, stinging jab from Barzilay just when I said it.
Jones is tough as nails.
Comes back. Nice left hook.
That was a solid shot from Jones. And now Barzilay returning fire.
Smart by Ilay Barzilay to get the clinch here, slow things down, take away that momentum from Tyler Jones, who seemed like he was having some success.
And I think Ilay's starting to get tired because he definitely did the big no-no in combat sports, is checking the clock. You don't look at the time. Don't look at the time, buddy. It's the longest 2 minutes of your life if you're looking at the clock right now.
Under 2 to go. That was great to see that, Michael, to catch that.
Oh, I tell my corner all the time, don't tell me the time, because then I'll start thinking about it and it's going to take forever. When you're tired, 2 minutes lasts an eternity.
Oh, yeah.
But not when you're on top in cruise control in the back half of this third round for Ilay. This is smart, locking the hands, trying to close the show.
No, very smart, very smart. You know, it took away the momentum from Tyler.
And he was creating some momentum. He landed a really nice left punch. Kind of spun Ilay around. And
yeah, veteran move for Barzilay, who's only 24 years old.
Yeah, well, this is mixed martial arts. It's not Muay Thai. It's not boxing. You have to, you know, use all the aspects, all the skills, all the techniques. It's a real fight.
Got one more preliminary bout coming your way. Eduardo Pena taking on Ronny Hauser. LFA bantamweight division coming up next. 45 to go. And the Vegas faithful cheering on their man, Ilay Barzilay.
looks like Ilay's trying to feed that bottom wrist of Jones. But he elects to go back to that body lock. What's smart for Ilay is he's not passing. If you're trying to close the show and just smother the guy for the rest of the round, if you start passing, let's say you get to a side control or a mount, it's easy for, if you're the guy on the bottom, to create some space and get to your feet. With a guy that likes to go to the rubber guard and hold his opponent on top of him, it's smart of him not to pass.
Jones misses with another spinning elbow, and fighters
nice finish.
Finishing strong. What a fight.
Two warriors right there.
That was a great fight.
Both came in undefeated. Fellas, you know what that means.
Someone's O has got to go.
Well done, sir. Barzilay 3-0, unbeaten as a pro, and Tyler Jones 1-0. I mean, both these guys have a very bright future here in the LFA lightweight division. That was a back and forth, very entertaining fight.
Yeah, that was really good. Both guys had their moments, good exchanges on the feet, but when it came to the grappling and the wrestling department, Ilay really took over, really smothered Jones against the fence, had some good ground and pound, and really, just like I said, was the more physical guy and just controlled those grappling exchanges.
Check out some of the highlights, guys, of that final round. Beautiful shot from Jones, pushed Barzilay back.
And Ilay doing a really great job of using the dirty boxing. Big spinning attempt by Tyler. Just couldn't really get it done, couldn't really pick things up. Ilay was in complete control, just had more volume in the pocket. Tyler's a very good striker, though. A lot to learn from this experience.
Yeah, absolutely. I just think if he hit the weight room a little bit. You know, I know Ilay, you know, while he's not in the UFC, his main stablemate's Natan Levy. I know they're doing strength conditioning at the UFC PI. He's got access to a lot of things that other people don't. And like I said, I think that Jones, this fight could have been more competitive if he could have matched the physicality of Ilay Barzilay, but it's a learning lesson.
Let's now get the official decision. Here is Mike Kendall.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge Camijo scores the bout 30-27. Montalvo scores the bout 30-27. And Judge Weeks scores his bout 29-28. All for your winner by unanimous decision, Ilay, the hype is real, Barzilay.
Well, apparently the hype is real, because this is Ilay Barzilay's 4th consecutive win as a pro, 9th straight, including his amateur career. Remember the name, guys. I think Ilay Barzilay put the LFA lightweight division on notice tonight, Gil.
I agree. Ilay looked fantastic. Just getting it done with that Muay Thai stance, his volume, his intensity, getting forehead forward and letting his hands go in the boxing, ripping the body shots, and then just making the decision to do some cage work. Hey, I'm going to slow things down. Tyler has some momentum. I'm going to put him against the cage. I'm going to work here. Some great takedowns, neutralize submissions. Just a well-rounded mixed martial artist who's exciting and is looking to go for the finish.
Yeah, I agree. 24 years young, very bright future. Well, our first of our championship doubleheader is for the women's interim strawweight strap. Here's a look at the matchup between Gigi Canuto and Natasha Kuzatina.
It's a night of title fights here at the Palms Casino Resort in beautiful Las Vegas. We get the action started with women's strawweight interim title, and will be the highest profile matchup between judo and jiu-jitsu practitioners ever in women's MMA history. Natasha Kuzatina is a two-time Olympian and Olympic judo bronze medalist from Russia. She also holds multiple world and European championships on her resume.
And this could be over rather quickly. Quintero. Oh no, good night. Wow.
In just over a year of training in MMA, she has established herself as one of the top female prospects in the strawweight division.
Diamond Canuto.
Kuzatina now faces one of the most decorated jiu-jitsu specialists to ever step foot inside of MMA when she takes on Giovanna Canuto. Canuto is a 5-time IBJJF World Champion and the reigning LFA Fans' Choice Awards Female Fighter of the Year.
This is Canuto's world.
Canuto is a BJJ black belt who has made quick work of her opponents inside of the octagon. With 3 impressive first-round submissions, she has shown her creativity and tenacity when the fight hits the ground. 2 of the world's most decorated athletes in their respective disciplines now look to add LFA gold to their world-class trophy cases.
That is the co-main event and the first of our World Championship fights. Alan Joban is done with his photo shoot out there and joins us here at the booth. Alan, great to have you, buddy. A very exciting night, and what a matchup we have here between 21-year-old BJJ black belt Giovanna Canuto tangling with the Olympic bronze medalist in judo, Natasha Kuzatina. Let's talk, Alan, about Gigi Canuto, 5-time IBJJF world champion, and she has yet to lose in MMA.
Yeah, and she comes to the cage with a swag. You know, for only being 21 years old, you can see what she can do here. She's got throws. She's not just a typical type of jiu-jitsu person who only can fight on the mat. She can fight on the feet. She has terrific hands. She's always trying to show up with her hands on the feet, with her striking. She wants to prove things lots of times, but she's got a swagger and a confidence about her at such a young age.
Gil, a very tough matchup with the bronze medalist in judo, Natasha Kuzatina.
Well, with only 13 months in mixed martial arts, she really leans on her grappling, doing a great job of luring her opponents in, level changing, double legs, body locks, and all she needs to really do is get her hands on her opponent, and she can put him in the cage, and she has an amazing head and arm for in the cage. And of course, if she takes you down, she's pursuing the mount, and she's looking for the armbar. A very, very scary grappler. I think we're actually gonna see 2 grapplers grapple each other this time. I'm very excited for this co-main event.
There is the rest of the LFA 173 card, but first we have our final preliminary bout. Eduardo Pena looks to remain unbeaten when he faces Ronny Hauser next, who is going for his 4th win in a row. Tail of the tape, powered by Arise. Penha is 28, and Hauser 2 years his elder. Penha is 2 inches taller and will enjoy a massive 8-inch reach advantage. Here's Mike.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds in the LFA Bantamweight division. Brought to you tonight by RiseUp.com. Rise to the occasion. And now, introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner. This wrestler and striker stands 5'6", weighed in 135.6 pounds. He holds a professional record, 3 wins, 2 defeats. Representing Ricardo Lama's fight team, fighting out of Hoffman Estates, Illinois, Ronny Hauser. His opponent across the octagon, fighting out of the red corner, is a grappler standing 5'8", weighed in 135.8 pounds. He holds a professional record, 3 wins, 0 defeats, with 2 wins coming by way of submission. Representing Sergio Pena, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, by way of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, Eduardo Duda Penha. Your referee, Jason Herzog.
Okay, fighters, we went over the rules in the back. There were no final questions from you, Boo. No final questions from you, Red. If you want to touch gloves, do it now. I'm not ready to fight.
What a matchup here to wrap up the preliminaries at LFA 173. Ronny Hauser making his LFA debut, and Eduardo Pena, the son of Sergio Pena, BJJ legend with 8th degree red and white belts in BJJ. He's looking to improve to 4-0, but he ends up on the ground quick, guys.
Yeah, Ronny is a tank out here, and you know, he's not here to get bullied around by Penha, even though he has the credentials. You know, what's special about Penha, he's that next generation. He's a world champion in jiu-jitsu and an all-American wrestling, man. The world is changing. These guys are well-rounded. Who is that, man? That's incredible to see that now. Beautiful double leg by Penha. Has the back.
Hauser. Nice takedown defense there. Finish it off.
I mean, this is one of those matchups, like Gilbert was just saying. Both guys come from a wrestling background. Pena's known for his high-level jiu-jitsu skills, but he showed in that transition there and here again. He level changes so quickly. He's able to transition from one to the other very fast.
Ronny Hauser wrestled 1 season at Elmhurst College, also at the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater. The flip side, Eduardo Penha did his wrestling at Northwest College in Wyoming. That was a junior college. He was an All-American before transferring to St. Cloud State in Minnesota, and then Colorado Mesa.
Huge moment for Penha right now. Both these guys are high-level wrestlers, and Penha puts him against the cage and pursues the takedown and gets it, and now has one hook in and has the back of Ronny. Ronny's still very good in a good position. He could still escape, but Penha with the big takedown, huge moment for him.
Yeah, and a good position. Two guys that are kind of going back to bat with the grappling, but this is where the grappling starts to differ, right? Because Penha getting on your back, then this is another story. He's a next level type black belt. I mean, he's been doing it since he was a very young kid. Good job though by Hauser, getting back to his feet at least right now. He's not out of the woods yet, but much better position than on the ground.
Yeah, I think that was a big moment right here for Ronny Hauser to at least get back up on his feet. Not out of trouble yet. Penha trying to great job by the veteran Jason Herzog. He saw it.
Jason said, "No, I saw, man."
That's not happening in my octagon tonight. And this is a tough restart for Hauser. With the
interesting.
So black belt
so
on his
I've never
back.
seen that before. So he stood up, he grabbed the fence, and then he started him on the floor with one hook in.
I agree. I
restarted him in a different position.
In a different spot, yeah.
But I'm not completely mad.
Because it's kind of like penalizing him, right?
Yeah, I think he was about to get it. Penha on the single leg.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it.
Penha on the single leg here. Another big moment. I mean, 3 minutes of nonstop wrestling. I have to say Penha is being the aggressor here, but Ronny definitely in this fight.
A nice little inside trip right there for Penha. You know, Hauser, you see how quickly he scrambles up, right? And Penha having a tough time holding him down. But not only does it come from his wrestling background, but just look at his build, right? When you go against a grappler who's built like that, it's not easy to hold him down. You think about the Alexander Volkanovski against Islam Makhachev, right? He was able to use his body type in a very good way to stay out of dangerous positions. And you're seeing Ronny Hauser do a similar task tonight against Eduardo Penha.
Yeah, that's a great point. You know, a lot of times in jiu-jitsu, they're like, oh, be careful, don't get up and give your back. You know, that's a part of NCAA wrestling. The hooks come in wrestling. You can stand up, you can get up from there, and people need to, because if you don't, you know, you're gonna lose on bottom over here.
He's got a good position now.
Yeah, with 1 minute and 7 seconds to operate.
I feel like Penha is just slowly climbing the ladder, right? Just gets the takedown, Ronny gets up and gets it again.
Little movements.
Yes, yes, and it takes time. It's been 4 minutes to finally get to the back here of his opponent.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, earlier he got him down, was only able to get one hook, and Hauser was able to get back to his feet. Repeatedly stayed with the takedowns. Penha has him on the ground now, had both hooks in. It looks like Penha was looking for that body lock, and I agree. If he can get that body lock,
guys.
Oh, he's going for it.
Real tight. Eduardo Penha looking for his third submission.
This is
and this looks tough. Ronny Hauser, there's the tap. Walk-off submission. Eduardo Penha remains unbeaten. Doesn't stick the landing, but stuck the submission.
Wow, very systematic of Penha. Black belt in jiu-jitsu with the All-American wrestling. What a perfect recipe, and what a rear naked finish, rear naked choke finish. His opponent was pushing his elbow up, thinking he's defending the choke, and Penha slips in the other arm. Man, beautiful job. I'm gutted for Ronny. Ronny lost his first two fights in MMA, went 3-0 since then. A great opportunity for him, but just got shut down by the better grapplers, all it came down to.
and just not an easy matchup. I mean, normally Ronny Hauser is probably the better wrestler in most of these scenarios, but you go against somebody like Eduardo Pena, as we mentioned, that not only can wrestle, but he's so high level on the ground, and you saw that. He went back to it repeatedly, was able to get the back, and even though it was on the chin at first, Penha found a way to get it underneath the neck and inevitably finish his fight.
Another submission finish for Eduardo Penha. He improves to 4-0. He scored a third-round armbar win. That was back at LFA 167, and he keeps the streak going. Let's now get the official time from Mike Kendall.
Ladies and gentlemen, your referee, Jason Herzog, calls a stop to the fight. 4 minutes, 20 seconds in the very first round, declaring winner by tap out due to rear naked choke, Eduardo Duda Penha.
And the fans here in Vegas chanting Eduardo Penha's name. It's still unbeaten. And the Eduardo Penha hype train is gaining momentum. He improves to 4-0. Well, top of the hour, the LFA 173 main card kicks off. You don't want to miss it. A doubleheader of World Championship title fights. So join us over on UFC Fight Pass. For all of my broadcast partners, we have a cast of thousands here tonight. Mike Kendall, Gilbert Melendez, Cub Swanson, Alan Joban, and Michael Chiesa. I'm Ron Kruk. We'll see you over on UFC Fight Pass.
As real as it gets, and it's mind-blowing.
I love everything about that fight.
These are the moments that the fighters live for. I can't wait. Kicked him in the face. Oh, Rose.
We will all witness a piece of UFC history.
Unbelievable! You're sitting at home watching this, and you just go, holy sh**. The double tap does what he wants!
Master, teach me Kung Fu.
One of the most epic fights.
There's nothing I do better in this life than fighting.
I'm broken, baby. This team is unbroken.
We have a sport with some of the best athletes in the world.
Boom!
One of the greatest knockouts you'll ever see!
Oh!
The UFC has never been stronger.
It does not get any better. Oh, that looks good! This is a crazy sport, ladies and gentlemen.